1 week after returning home and only a day after hoping to put the issue to rest, the Prime Minister's controversial trip to Bermuda is still leading to questions as evidenced during today's Office of the Prime Minister briefing. Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, at the time reiterating the position that Bahamians will receive a full accounting of the trip. The issue sparking fierce criticism from opposition leader Michael Pintard, who accused the government of commingling government business with that of his party, charging further that this is against the law. When questioned, Watson, however, could not speak to this. The Prime Minister yesterday promised during House of Assembly proceedings that the government will be repaid for the full travel expenses.
We're still waiting on the final figures to come in, and that's why the Prime Minister would have said yesterday, whatever is owed, the Progressive Liberal Party will pay as the bill comes in. What you would have seen paid, the check issued, would have been for the airline, and so they wait the bill for the hotel. He is instructed for the Progressive Liberal Party to pay that as well, and so whatever the figures are, he said that in the House yesterday he will release them as they come in, and he's made aware of them. He'll release them to the Bahamian people.
Watson also indicating that the full cost of the Bermuda trip will be released at a later date.
It was an official visit to meet with the Premier. Prime Minister, upon seeing also a part of the invitation, was to speak at a political party conference, automatically said, okay, well, this is going to happen. I don't want this to be a government expenditure if I'm going to speak at a political party. So upon leaving, he left on a Wednesday, returned the following day on a Thursday. His instructions were to have the Progressive Liberal Party carry the tab for this trip because we're going to be speaking to political convention. It's not an official duty if you're speaking to political convention, even though there are other items that he would have done in visiting with the Premier, visiting with the Cabinet, that would have been official. He made the decision, just for full transparency, to have the PLP carry that tab.
Well, as the cost of the Prime Minister's trip to Bermuda continues to dominate headlines, Bermuda's Progressive Labour Party is boasting in a letter to the editor of a local daily of the Honourable Philip Davis, following in the footsteps of Sir Lyndon Pinling, having addressed the Progressive Labour Party's conference, visiting its Governor-General and the resting place of its former leaders. Bermuda's Labour Party and the Progressive Liberal Party both started in the late 40s with ideas from several Caribbean students at the university in London. Among them, Sir Lyndon and Lewis Brown of Bermuda. This led to the PLP's formation in 1953 and Bermuda's Labour Party 10 years later. A delegation from Bermuda attended Sir Lyndon's funeral back in 2000. The letter concluded that the Bahamas and Bermuda are two countries, inseparable, one family, one party.